It is today I'm going to be talking about this beat. David Bowie's second studio album, which is entitled Space Oddity, which originally was called David Bowie, also known as Space Oddity. So this would be his second album, which was released on November 14th of 1969. So this album here is kind of like a psychedelic rock, folk rock album. When you think about David Bowie, if you listen to a lot of his music, if you're a fan of his, usually folk rock isn't really in his genre, which it would be kind of like that like psychedelic rock that was a little different as well. Mostly like rock, and then later on in the early 70s would be like glam rock, which bands like that came out were quite popular, like T-Rex. It would have that glam rock style, as well as many other bands that would come very popular around the early 70s. But yeah, all in all, I found it was a great album. Um, definitely, definitely an amazing album. I would say, it wasn't like his best album. But I would have to say it was a great album. But not one of his best albums. But I know on this album here, it only had that one big hit. That was it off this whole album, which there's 10 songs here. And there was only one big hit song. I'm going. So on this album here, so on this album, so I said here it was recorded in London, June to September 1969. So it's a David Bowie is on vocals, 12-string guitar. I don't even know how to pronounce some of these. Stylophone. Some of the instruments I don't have pronounced. Electric chord organ. Kalimba. Mick Wayne on guitar. Keith Christmas on acoustic guitar. John Lodge, Herbie Flowers, and Tony Visconti on bass. John Cambridge and Terry Cox on Space Oddity. Drums has Tim Rick, Rewick. Guitar, flute, and recorders. Rick Wakeman was on one of the songs here, Space Oddity, on mellotron and electric. HARPSICORD. Which later on, I don't know if it was around that time he was with the band. Yes, could have been. Or later on, I'm not sure. But yeah, great. I found it was like I said, it wasn't like his best album, but I know he had only one big hit off this album. So I go through the songs. So it starts off with Space Oddity, a 6-minute and 9-second song, unwashed and somewhat slightly dazed. 2-minute and 30-second song, Letter to, I don't know how to pronounce this, HERMIONE. the 9 minute and 22-second song Signet Committee, um, Janine, An Occasional Dream. After that is the Wild Eyed Boy from Free Cloud. Let me see. Conversation piece. After that is God Knows I'm Good. And the very last song is a 7 minute and 6 second song, Memory of a Free Festival. Yeah, I found like this album here was a little different from like the album that would come after this, which was The Man Who Sold the World. I found that album was more kind of heavier hard rock style compared to this. This was completely different from his other stuff. I found this was definitely a little different, like I said, because it had that rock, psychedelic rock, like I said, folk rock style to this album here. I found it was completely different from the other stuff later on he would release. But yeah, definitely. I found it was like I said, it wasn't like his best album, but I found it was a good album, definitely. And I know, like I said, there was one hit song, Space Oddity, which, like I said, became a big hit off this album. So that was the only big hit that came off this album here. The other songs really didn't. It became a single actually as well, Space Oddity. But yeah, definitely a great song. Like I said, it starts off with Space Oddity. But yeah, like, and I found it was like it did have that. Like I said, it like the style it said it was like that psychedelic. It was kind of going for that psychedelic style to this album. Around that time in the late '60s, I found psychedelic rock was quite popular around 66, 67. Like bands like Jefferson Airplane were doing that. The Stones had one album out that was psychedelic. There was other bands as well. And I believe it would stop probably till like early '70s. So it didn't really last that long. Got really popular in the late '60s. But yeah, definitely like this album here is great album to check out. Definitely, if you haven't heard it yet, definitely worth checking out. So here's the back of it. But yeah, definitely a great album. Wasn't like I said, it wasn't one of his best albums. Like I said, at least it had a big hit. And I have to say my favorite out of all the ones I do have of his, I would have to say my favorite one still would have to probably be the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. I would have to say would probably have to be one of my favorite ones of his. So I'll go through the songs and I'm going to finish. So it starts off with Space Oddity, the 6 minute and 9 second song, Unwashed and Somewhat Slightly Dazed, the 2 minute and 30 second song, Letter to, I don't know how to pronounce this, Hermione. After that is a 9 minute and 22 second song, Signet Committee. After that is Janine. Then after that is a 2 minute 54 second song, An Occasional Dream. After that is Wild Eyed Boy from Free Cloud. Then Conversational Piece. God Knows I'm Good. And the very last song is a 7 minute and 6 second song, Memory of a Free Festival. Here's the back of it. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. You're a fan of David Bowie. Let me know what your favorite song or album of his is. I know like he got very, very popular around the early 70s. I found very, very popular. So yeah, let me know what you think, and thank you so much for every single one of you support my channel. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate for that. So I got another one to do, and thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And like I said, let me know down in the comments, and thank you so much, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And so I got another one to do, and thank you so much, and have a good day, and bye.